Hello students, welcome back once again in Principle of Electronics Communication subject. So last time what we have studied in our particular lecture is synchronous and asynchronous communication. That was second last unit, second last topic of this unit. Today we are ending this particular unit with a last topic that is known as a simple topic, signal to noise ratio. It is just a simple definition type. It is nothing a matter of a big explanation in this particular topic. Signal to noise ratio. Now, what do you mean by signal to noise ratio? It is a simple definition which is defined as the ratio of signal power to the noise power. Signal to noise ratio. So it is defined as nothing but a ratio of signal power to the noise power, and it is represented by S upon N, S by N ratio. It is also known as S by N ratio. S stands for signal power, N stands for noise power. Now S by N is equals to, this is PS, PS stands for signal power, this PN, PN stands for noise power, and you know very well power is the ratio of voltage upon resistance, V by R, sorry, V square by R. Power is the ratio of V square by R. So V square by R, so this PS represented as Vs square by R, this Pn is represented by Vn square by R. Denominator R are same, cancel. V as the whole square upon Vn the whole square. So coming in the same thing, Vs by Vn the whole square. So the value of signal to noise power is Vs by Vn the whole square. Voltage of signal power, voltage of noise power, the whole square. The value of S by N ratio must be as high as possible. Why the value of this S by N ratio must be as high as possible? Why this is the condition? Why we have to take a precaution that S by N ratio must be as high as possible? Because we have to limit the noise in our communication. We don't want noise in our communication. So the noise must be as much as less, and the signal power is must be high. So if you take this ratio, then S by N ratio must be as high possible, so that your communication information will be transmitted very well. Receiver will receive the information very well, exactly at what the sender has transmitted. So the ratio of signal power to the noise power is nothing but is known as signal to noise ratio, and in the end S by N is represented as Vs upon Vn the whole square, and this value must be as high as possible, so that the noise power is very less in your particular communication. The noise thing must be very less, and the signal power, the actual information you are transmitting, that signal power must be as high as possible. So that's why S by N ratio must be as high as possible. So this is a simple definition of signal to noise ratio, which comes in your examination, in board examination for 2 marks in question number 1 only. I am showing you the board question paper also. In question number 1 attempt 85, the very first question, it is this only: define the term signal to noise ratio. Define the term signal to noise ratio. This question asks for 2 marks, only definition. So whatever the definition I have dictated to you, that only the same thing. The ratio of the strength of electrical or other signal carrying information to that of unwanted interference is called as signal to noise ratio. The thing which I have explained to you, the ratio of signal power to the noise power, signal power of whose power? The information signal which you are transmitting. The ratio of the strength of electrical or other signal carrying information. तो वो सिग्नल पावर किसका? वो जो तुम्हारी इंफॉर्मेशन लेके जा रहा है उसका सिग्नल पावर, और अनवांटेड इंटरफेरेंस जिसको हम लोग नॉइज बोलते हैं, अनवांटेड सिग्नल. तो रेशियो ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन सिग्नल टू द अनवांटेड सिग्नल, इट इज ओनली नथिंग बट सिग्नल टू नॉइज रेशियो. और इसमें देखो अदर से भी इधर पे डिफाइन किया है, द रेशियो ऑफ सिग्नल पावर टू द नॉइज पावर एट सेम पॉइंट. सिग्नल पावर नॉइस पावर को डेजिग्नेट किससे किया है? PS बाय PN. और मैंने इसके आगे भी बताया PS क्या होता है, PN क्या होता है. P पावर का किसका रेशियो होता है? वोल्टेज और रेजिस्टेंस का. तो V as the whole square upon r, vn the whole square upon r, नीचे का r cancel, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा रेशियो vs by vn the whole square. So this is a simple definition of 2 marks which comes in your question paper in your examination. Define the term signal to noise ratio, and that is only the last topic of your particular unit, introduction to electronic communication chapter. So this is all what is we have studied in this particular unit, basics of electronic communication or introduction to electronic communication. So I am revising what we have studied till now in this particular unit. The first topic, what we have understood, what we have studied in this particular unit is the block diagram of electronic communication system. It is very, very important. It comes in your examination for 4 marks. Draw and explain the block diagram of electronic communication system. This is the first topic we have studied. And after that, we have studied what are the different types of electronic communication on the basis of direction. So we have seen the types of electronic communication on direction classified mainly in 2 categories, simplex system and duplex system. And under the duplex system, we have also seen the further 2 classification, half duplex system and full duplex system. Also, we have seen the examples of all these particular systems, simplex examples we have seen. For example, what is the simplex system example? TV broadcasting, remote control system. इसी तरीके से हम लोग ने दूसरा किसका एग्जांपल देखे, हाफ डुप्लेक्स सिस्टम एग्जांपल इज वॉकी टॉकी, फैक्स मशीन, पेजर. All these are the examples of half duplex system. And under the full duplex system, we have seen the example of mobile telephone and all the satellite communication, radar communication. These all are the examples of full duplex system. Then after that, we have also seen the comparison of their same also, simplex, half duplex and full duplex system also. And then after that, we have studied noise and what are the different types of noise in communication. First, we have understood noise and what are the different types of noise in communication. So we have seen the classification of noise is mainly in internal noise and external noise. In internal noise, we have seen there are many different types of noises. For example, thermal noise, short noise, and other etc. noise. In case of external noise, we have seen the classification of atmospheric noise, extraterrestrial noise, industrial noise. These all are the examples of external noise. After that, the coming the topic of electromagnetic spectrum. So we have seen what is the diagram of electromagnetic spectrum, and in electromagnetic spectrum, what are the different types of bands. For example, ELF, VF, VLF. So this ELF stand for extremely low frequency band. So we have seen the diagram of this particular electromagnetic spectrum diagram, and under that we have seen what are the different types of band designated as name, what are the frequency range of the particular band, and what is the explanation of this electromagnetic spectrum. It is nothing but the range of frequencies from few hertz to several gigahertz. This entire range of frequency of electromagnetic waves is nothing but electromagnetic spectrum. After the completing of this topic, electromagnetic spectrum, we have seen the topic of synchronous and asynchronous communication. In synchronous communication, the sender and receiver must require synchronization with the help of external time clock. The best example of synchronous communication is video conferencing, telephonic conversation. All the live conversation are the examples of synchronous communication. And asynchronous communication, it is nothing but asynchronous communication means the sender and receiver does not require synchronization between them with the help of external clock. Under the asynchronous communication, we require extra 2 bits along with the data frame, that is start bit and stop bit, and there is a gap between the data packets of each. There is a certain amount of gap between 2 data bits, data frame. So the examples of asynchronous communication, what we have seen, the examples of asynchronous communication is emails, television, letters, etc. All are the examples of asynchronous communication. This was the second last topic. We have also seen the comparison between them, synchronous and asynchronous, on the basis of parameters, synchronization, transmission speed, cost, gap between the data, start bit and stop bit examples, etc. And the last topic today, what we have completed by ending this particular unit, is signal to noise power, signal to noise ratio. The signal to noise ratio is nothing but it is a simple definition part. It is the ratio of signal power to the noise power. And in the last, we have seen the exact formula of S by N is Vs by Vn the whole square. And this S by N ratio must be as high as possible. So this was all about this particular first unit of PEC, Principle of Electronic Communication subject, Introduction to Electronic Communication subject. So after this completing this unit, I will give you assignment. You must complete that assignment and submit in your Google Classroom. Thank you very much.